In today's episode, we are joined by Michelle Chung. She is a soulmate manifestation coach, an entrepreneur, a property investor, a portrait artist, and is into kinesiology and psych K. She is here to talk with us about how to manifest the people we want to manifest in our business and our life. And I got to tell you, this is a short and sweet, but super powerful conversation. We talk about how she does it. We talk about how to find the blocks that are getting in the way of the manifestation and what to do about them. Amazingly powerful for such a short episode. So I highly recommend you take a listen. Welcome to the Self Loved ADHD Woman's Way podcast. I'm your host, Jen Barnes. If you're an ADHD woman entrepreneur, ADHD adjacent, or ADHD ish, you've come to the right place. We'll dive deep into the unique challenges you face, from the inner turmoil to the outer obstacles. We'll blend neuroscience, IFS, and somatic healing and explore practical strategies to help you navigate the world of entrepreneurship with ADHD with greater ease and effectiveness. I'm glad you're here. Hey, it's Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Today, we have a really special guest with us, Michelle Chung. She is a soulmate manifestation coach, an entrepreneur, a property investor, kinesiology and psych K, and a portrait artist. And she's here to talk to us about manifesting relationships in our businesses and our lives. So, welcome to you, Michelle. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Dan. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. I'm really interested in how you do this relationship manifestation. Like, I know some manifestation basics. I read The Secret and watched The Secret and whatever. I know nothing about doing that for relationships. So I would love if you would just tell us, like, how you, like, what you do.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, it would be appropriate to insert my own little story in here. I actually manifested my relationship, my business, the house that I've just bought, manifest a lot of stuff. And we can all do it, actually. We're all natural manifestors and creators, especially, I won't say this, but especially if you're a woman, we're naturally in our feminine energy. We're natural manifestors. I suppose my own story started with I was single after being divorced for 5 years. I was wondering, how can I find the right man? I've done it before. I was married. I had great relationships with ex-boyfriends, but why is it taking me so long, 5 years, to find a partner? And what I realized, and because I'm an entrepreneur, I love business, love working with women. I was listening to a business podcast, and my mentor, he actually said, if you're not getting what you want, it's because you're resisting something,
Whoa. If you're not getting
right?
what you want, it's because you're resisting something. Holy
Yes.
moly.
So that was the same reaction I had. It blew my head off, knocked my socks off. And it really hit me that this was really the key. And this is the key to actually manifesting, because a lot of people will say, I do affirmations. I've read The Secret. I've watched the movie. I do all the right things, but why is it not happening in my life?
Yeah, that's the question I have.
Exactly. It's because of that resistance. That resistance turns up in many ways. It could be related to past trauma, past experiences, habits, behaviors, beliefs that you hold that are not serving you, subconscious and unconscious beliefs, all of this programming that has been embedded in your psyche and in your body that is protecting you. And I know that this is what you're very interested in, and you do this kind of work as well. This is actually protecting you from moving forward, because your body's saying, hey, remember that experience you had back then? We don't want to do that again. So let's sabotage you to keep you safe. So this is really part of this process of manifesting, has to be releasing resistance and emotional blocks.
Wow. I have so many questions. I wish we had 4 hours. Anyway, one of my questions is,
how do you know, like, what the resistance is about? Like, where the block is? Like, how do you figure that out?
Yeah, great. There's a couple of ways you can do it. One of the ways that you do yourself is to ask the body. Another way is to actually do some exercises asking your mind and try to get through the mind barrier. One exercise I do is asking yourself why 3 or 4 times or as long as it takes. Because when you ask yourself, like a child, because this, because of that, the first surface level answer that you get will be your mind giving you that surface level answer. Oh, because you were fat as a child or whatever. And then you keep asking why until you get to until you exhaust all those surface level answers and you get to the real true answer. So for example, when I did this exercise after I listened to that podcast and I said, oh, look, I really want to, find a new relationship. I want to have a family soon. I'm in my late 30s. So I did this exercise and the first several surface level answers that I was getting was they were almost silly in retrospect. But what I got to at the very end was like, oh, because my dad won't accept me or something like that.
Well,
So it
yeah.
was very much like, oh, I'm still making choices based on what my dad would approve of. And hence that was blocking me. That was part of the resistance. And because of my natural rebellious nature, I was probably going towards men that would not be accepted by my dad. And it's so strange because like how it works and you think you're not being controlled by any of this subconscious programming, but it's all there until you shine a light on it. You ask it some questions. You say, is it okay to let it go? You get that permission, like we had talked about before, and release it. And releasing it can be in that physical way or just letting it go in a meditation. So there may be ways to do that.
That is so fascinating. I love that. That is so cool. Yeah. That's a great we talk about limiting beliefs a lot around here. And I like that method of finding them too. Uh,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That seems really wise. Does that come from some of the Psych K stuff in your history? Or what is Psych K? Like, what is it there that you do?
That's a great question. So Psyche was actually something that I done recently. It blew my mind because I was reading a book called The Biology of Belief, and that was highly recommended by my mentors and other entrepreneurs. And that book really was talking about how your beliefs are embedded in you and how they actually really drive everything in your life and hence drive your results that you're getting in your life. So, like I said, if you're getting certain results in your life, no relationship, no love, no relationship, the wrong guys, the same type of guys, there is something, if you look back and we try to reverse engineer it, there is something that's way back in your psyche, in your unconscious or your subconscious belief system that is driving your thoughts, that is driving your actions, that is creating your behavior, that is giving you those results of what I said, no men, not the right man, wrong
Yeah.
relationship. So reverse engineering that is all looking at those beliefs. So in that book, they talk so much about beliefs on the even cellular level. It's
Wow.
even embedded in your cell because we are all just energy. It's an
Right.
illusion that we're physically here.
Yeah.
So at the end of that book, they talked about Psych K as being one of the methods they recommended to actually release that trauma and release those paths from your cells. So I was so
Cool.
interested. I actually took that training to do it for myself firstly, and then I did my level 2, which has helped me help other people to release that. So I do that with the women who I work with. And that actually, it's so powerful that it can actually be, you can get results within 10 to 15 minutes.
Wow. That's
And that's all it needs to
amazing.
be. Exactly. It doesn't need to be years of talk therapy and going over it doesn't need to be a long drawn out process. It can actually be very fast.
Right.
And that's why I love it because as you understand being ADHD, I'm probably ADHD myself. I want quick results. I want things fast and I
Yeah.
want things to happen in a way that's going to give me those results quickly.
I like that. Have they done any? Because, like, so I'm a social worker and we have our research stuff that we get into. Have they done any longitudinal studies on like the long term? Does it stick long term? Have you seen anything like that? Like how it does long term after? Because that's always
Uh,
one of the things. I'm not gonna lie, as a trauma therapist, I'm always like, "I don't know, is that gonna stick
is
long?"
it a fad? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great question. I believe so. I believe so. I don't have the data with me, but
Totally catching ya.
yeah, no, that's right. And
Yeah.
the founder, unfortunately, he's passed away just recently, but his work has been around for quite a few years, and I think they had done studies. One example that I read in the book, and the author, he's also taken this training as well. He said that there was a situation where they were at a conference and they said, "You'd like to get up on stage and speak publicly."
Yeah.
And one woman who was terrified of public speaking, and the founder and this woman had a quick chat. He did his process. 15 minutes later, she's on stage talking like she's a natural.
Wow.
So, he- so the Psych case simply unblocked, released that subconscious belief,
Wow.
put in a new, that's the thing, you can release it, but you also have to put in a new belief, a new programming, version 2.0, which is better and improved, new and improved,
Yeah.
that will actually help you meet your goal. So you want
That
to
is
set those
so
goals. I want to be a
cool.
public speaker, but hence this old programming, this belief that I'm too shy and I'll screw up on stage. That needs to be released, but you need to put a new program in place to say, I'm confident on stage, or I love speaking in public, or I have a lot to share. And the best way is to speak on stage. There's something like that.
Wow, that is phenomenal. You know what? I love that you shared that. That is just a lovely example. And I really like that, replacing it with a new belief. That actually lines up with some of the work I do where the part is given, not given, but they take a new role. Like there's something else to
Yes,
focus on. It's a very
yes.
similar. I love this, Michelle. This is such cool stuff. And we're almost at the end of our time. I just want to share, is there anything else like that you want to share just about manifestation and anything in particular to business that comes
Yes.
up for you? Yeah.
I'd love to. Basically, if you're not manifesting the clients and the people in your life, there is something blocking you. So
Hey.
you see some people where they're like, wow, their business is just exploding, but why is mine not?
Yeah.
So potentially you could have a resistance or a block for you that is stopping you from serving the clients that you want. So
Yeah.
it could be something that in the past has been like, well, I did this for my client and then she was a pain in the butt. Or I did this for a client and I worked so hard for nothing and it didn't turn out. So it could be
Ah,
something like that where you're actually going, hold on a second. I don't want to manifest more clients because that means I'm going to overwork myself. I'm going to get stressed. I'm going to be trapped. This is exactly what I went through in my first
I
businesses
feel like you could be
where,
talking to me from my
right,
my therapist business. I'm like, oh my god.
right.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
love
So
my clients now, but I've had some tough over the years.
100%, 100%. So we're actually manifesting those clients we don't want or no clients at all because of those previous blocks, that resistance that's keeping us safe. So once we let go of those old beliefs, those unconscious, subconscious programming, and we create a new belief towards the goal that says, I have a healthy, thriving business with clients that are amazing to work with, that I make X amount per year because my business is amazing and I love it so much. And you put in these new beliefs that is aligned with those goals. And because you've let go of those resistance, those hurdles, like when you're running those races, you remove all those hurdles, you can move so quickly and effortlessly. And
Wow.
people will actually just come into your life or you'll recognize opportunities. You'll hear something that goes, oh, I need to go to that networking event. And you'll meet the right person there.
So
Or, oh, I
cool.
need to talk to my neighbor who I haven't spoken to about anything. And all of a sudden they've introduced you to somebody. And
Wow.
that's also listening to your body because that's what manifesting as well and your intuition.
That's amazing. Michelle, I'm so grateful you came here. I feel like you were talking directly to me, so that's awesome. But I'm so grateful that you're here. Now, if people wanted to get a hold of you or find you, where might they find you? How might they track you down?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram, Michelle Chung Coach. I mainly work with women to manifest a soulmate, but the Psych K process can be used for anything,
Yeah.
anything you like. And yeah, you can check out my website as well, michellechungcoach.com. And I also have a webinar right now. You join for free and you can learn how to manifest your soulmate and have your relationship and skip the dating actually.
Wow, that sounds awesome. Like, sign me up.
Right.
Hey. All right, cool. Well, we'll have all that in the show notes. And I just want to thank you, Michelle, for taking the time to meet with us today. It's such an honor to have you on our show. And yeah, I'm just glad. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome. So excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, yeah. And so if you like this episode, make sure you share. And if you check out the show notes, there is a way that you can leave a review on the Self Love ADHD Woman Way podcast. Pretty low resolution video explanation of me showing how to do it in case you don't know how. But I would love it if you would leave a review, a comment, and share. And we'll see you next time. Take care.